All right, well, welcome everybody to another event from Global Chamber Guanajuato. Arturo Samaripa, the Executive Director and Co-Director of Merida, two beautiful states full of great people and a lot of good connections. In this event, I'm so pleased to have a panel of women, successful women. I mean, this is the first time in the uh, chapter of the Global Chamber that we have an event only dedicated for women, and not only any woman in general. It's a wonderful speaker, but this time we have successful women that are doing great things for the world. And first of all, I would like to introduce. We have Lupina McMains, we have Rosana Moreno, we have Jimena Sotres, Delphine Cachadurian, and Rose Hamill from different parts of the world, but they are doing great things for Latin America. Okay, this event really is focused on the things that they are doing for Latin America. First of all, I would like to go ahead with the first two presenters. I would like to mention that at the end of the presentation, we're going to have a Q&A session. So please type in or send in your questions, and we're gonna try to answer your questions at the end of the presentation. Okay, PhD Rosana Moreno has a great career in finance and banking, and she has traveled all over the world. She has definitely helped institutions in several countries. And also, Lupina, I take it you guys are partners.
Yes, we are.
Okay,
Yes,
and
we
you
are.
guys are the attorney and founder partner with McMains and Moreno Global Consultings. Let's start with you.
Okay.
If you guys have a presentation, you can share and tell us what you are doing for the world, for these Latin American countries. Please
Well,
go ahead.
Lupina, do you mind if I go ahead and do the
No,
introduction?
you do it. You do it,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Rosana Gomez Moreno. As Arturo said, and thank you, Arturo, for hosting us today, and Cesar for all your work, and Indira for introducing us to the Global Chamber. I am here headquartered here in Houston. Lupina is based out of San Miguel de Allende. Currently, but our company, McMains and Moreno Global Consultants, is headquartered here in Houston, Texas. We founded our company 11 years ago, would you believe? We're a niche, we call ourselves a niche boutique consulting firm because we're very focused in healthcare development. Lupina, her trajectory was very involved in the aviation industry, having worked with Continental Airlines, which is now United. She represented Continental all over Latin America in governmental affairs. So many of the destinations that you travel in Latin America, she opened. So she was in charge of negotiating the entry of Continental Airlines in Latin America. I am an attorney by training, and ended up transitioning from international private banking after a 20-year plus career international private banking to healthcare. And that's how Lupina and I ended up meeting. And she represented me when I was the vice president in charge of international business development and the international patient program for the largest hospital system here in the region in Houston at Memorial Hermann Healthcare System. So Lupina ended up opening up our market to the Latin American clientele from Mexico all the way down to Argentina. And after I left in 2010, we decided to go ahead and set up our own firm. I kept on telling her, we're going to do something great together. So what do we do as a niche boutique consulting firm? We, are primarily focused, of course, in healthcare development. We are very, very focused in medical tourism. While I was at Memorial Hermann, I was very involved with the International Advisory Council. I served as president of that International Advisory Council. And as a result, I ended up becoming very involved with the Medical Tourism Association out of Miami. I ended up serving on their board, and I have published very much on that topic. So what we do as a firm, we set up, strategies, infrastructure, and programs for our clients. But we also go a bit further. We develop projects for our clients. And we've been really, not just in Latin America, we've been all over the world. Lupina and I guess about 4 years ago, we were in Turkey. We were helping a private healthcare system in Izmir develop elevate their medical center and develop an international patient program there. And it was very interesting because they were modeling their medical system after the Texas Medical Center here in Houston, of course, which is the largest medical center in the world with 62 institutions. So it was very interesting. We had a wonderful collaborative relationship with them, but as a result, their funding, as a result of the mayor of Izmir being named prime minister, their funding was cut, and we weren't able to continue with that relationship. But it was a wonderful insight for us to be able to work in that part of the world. I had worked in Dubai and Abu Dhabi with several affiliation programs there. And so, we've worked with clients in Turkey, we've worked with clients here in the United States, and with one system we worked in California. They worked with their clientele from Mexico. Even though they received a lot of patients from Mexico, they had no idea how to treat the patient. And we were there to help them set up their whole program, set up their infrastructure. We were there to train their staff, to really kind of nurture them, to change their mindset on how to treat we're different, our culture is different. We're very hands-on, we're very nurturing, we're very empathic. And so we were there to work with the physicians, their staff, and the hospital staff on how to receive their patients. We've been in Latin America. Not only do we develop projects, not only do we develop medical tourism programs, we also develop facilities. So we were in Central America recently conducting a feasibility study for a country, working with a developer out of California. And this country, I won't mention it, but they didn't even have legislation on healthcare, on their healthcare, they didn't have a healthcare system. They had a small medical school, but their medical students left the country and they didn't come back, they didn't return. So they didn't even have board certified physicians. They attracted physicians from all over the world, but those physicians, were there to meet the needs of their patients. But how do you attract, creme de la creme medical tourists when you don't have legislation, you don't have a healthcare infrastructure? So we were there to conduct a feasibility study, excuse me. And it was an enlightening, how can I say it, education for us to see a country who didn't have that infrastructure. So we've run the gamut from the most sophisticated healthcare system to being within a country that didn't have anything, which is, I think, made us much more empathic with a decision that we made 3 years ago to not take any more clients. I know it's a big decision, but to focus on one healthcare project. We are currently very focused and investing in the state of Guanajuato, in a very important destination where we will be building a facility, a model that does not exist in Mexico, to take care of the expat population, which is a very focused facility on medical tourism. And it will be a multi-specialty facility to meet the needs of those patients, but not just the expat population that lives in the state of Guanajuato, but also those that live in the region, including the upper middle class Mexican demographic, including the multinational expats that live in the state of Guanajuato. So we've conducted and done our homework, and we are moving ahead with our partners to build this facility over the next year and a half. So we've been very, very busy over the past 11 years. And for a firm of 2 women, you can imagine, it has been a journey and an adventure. Don't you think, Lupina?
Yes,
We
let me
have
tell
2
you.
minutes, 2 minutes, Rosanna.
Yes. So in a nutshell, here we are, 2 women, 2 Latina women who have been very successful in our prior careers, but found our passion in healthcare to help people find the best choice, of available healthcare. And we've decided to invest in Mexico and in the state of Guanajuato. How's that? Arturo?
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I mean, great woman doing great things for the world. And healthcare is an
Yes.
issue that's not touched often. You know, it's like we forget about the elder people. We
Yes.
forget about it. And it shouldn't be like that. And it's great to hear that you are doing good things, especially this. Thank you, Lupina. Thank you, Rosanna.
You're very welcome.
Next, we have Delphine Cachadurian. Delphine is the executive producer since 1987 of the office of Fernando Cordero. Fernando Cordero is a distinguished photographer from the Mexico City, and she founded Mares de Mexico. She worries about cleaning up the shores, the Mexican shores, something that we need to start paying more attention to nowadays with global warming and all that. So without further notice, I'll give you Delphine Cachadurian. Please, Delphine, tell us about your foundation.
Thank you very much, Arturo, Indira, and Cesar to invite me to this panel. Thank you to introduce me. And it's very nice and a pleasure to be with all these women today. I would like to go straight to our project. The foundation exists since 2001 to 2009, and we want to explain that we have in this moment 2 very important projects, one in la Costa de Veracruz in the Golfo de Mexico, and the other one in Oaxaca, in la Costa de Oaxaca. Yes, it's about the seas, but also about the people living in the coast. And in this case, I'm going to talk about the project in Oaxaca, and Sapotego is near the Pochutla coast. And the project is about, first of all, with property of, excuse me, okay. About César, con la presentación ya no veo mis textos. Perdón. Tal vez puedas quitar la presentación ahorita. Gracias, César. Our mission is through art and education, we preserve and protect the natural and cultural heritage in the communities that inhabit the Mexican coast and seas, just joining the diagnosis and solution of the problems that afflict these regions. The Sapotego Project is carried out initially in a property of 42 hectares acquired for the protection of the deciduous forest and the flower and fauna of the site, located in the community La Lagartija in the municipal agency of Zapotego in Oaxaca, Mexico. However, the community La Lagartija is a rural area, highly marginalized, with 50 families and 215 inhabitants in total, with a monthly income of $224. They are of indigenous origin, Sapotec from the south, and they are mostly fishermen and farmers. Although there is a considerable number who are employed outside the town, in the commercial and tourist centers, Huatulco, Puerto Ángel, and Pochutla, but many others are migrants. And with the project, we really want to push the people to stay there. And first of all, we want to start with the socioeconomic issue. There is social discontent of the part of this population. And there is an extremely low educational level, the conditions of vulnerability and high due to climatic phenomena. There is a very basic level of services, medical, water, electricity, and they are also in semi-abundant. And for us, it's for starting, it's very important to create a bounding system between the 50 families, and after to create social and human development thanks to the connection and through a system of improvement of the community infrastructure, of health, of programs, of the well-being of the boys and girls, and the management of the risk of the community, as well as the saving bank community. We want to start with that in the project, and we all the protection of the flora and fauna. We want to promote community organization for the management and governance of these communities, creating production systems with which the community would be strengthened. A sustainable production system, oyster farm, orchards, ecotourism, and artistic workshops for personal expressions, to make them a way to have an income saving. And for the conservation of biodiversity through a community turtle farm and a human, what is a management units for the conservation of wildlife, of non-extractive use. The conservation of biodiversity with a social focus, where more than 100 hectares of forest and wetlands would be conserved. So that's the project for us, and it's a project at 4 years, because first of all, we need to be near the people, near the community. We have a first approach with Inti Escalona, who is an anthropologist, who he's the director of the project. So this is the project in Laguna de Zapotengo in the Oaxaca coast.
Okay. Well, great. I mean, this is more complete. This is even bigger than what I was even thinking of, because I was thinking Mares de Mexico is protecting the shores of the Mexican shores. But now I'm learning that furthermore, they're protecting the wildlife, they're protecting the people. They're trying to encourage the economic situation from the people that live in Oaxaca, which is wonderful. If you guys are interested in learning more from this foundation, please contact Delphine, because I think this is a great cause. And as a woman, doing this herself, what can I tell you? It's just amazing. All these projects fill me with emotions. And thank you, Delphine, for your presentation.
You're welcome, Arturo. Thank you.
Now we have time to present a Canadian lady. It's more like a Spanish lady, because she's done so many things from Latin American. A financial analyst that now travels all over the world helping people, preventing children from dying from starvation. And here is Rose Hamill, an ambassador from Nourish the Children. Rose Hamill, can you please tell us more about yourself and this wonderful foundation and cause that you work for?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Arturo. Thank you for this opportunity to share with so many amazing, powerful women entrepreneurs and men entrepreneurs. I'm sure there are a lot of gentlemen here as well. I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I'm so grateful to be on this panel with these amazing women. I'm flattered and honored. My name is Rose Hamill. I am from Canada. I was born in China, and my family immigrated to Canada when I was 15. And from there, I graduated from my undergrad degree from the University of Calgary. And then since then, I was a senior financial analyst for 20 years before my friend introduced me to a platform where I could become an entrepreneur. And I have been doing that for the last 10 years. So I think if you add the numbers up, yes, I just celebrated my 54th birthday in Cancun, Mexico. Very grateful that even during this pandemic that we were still able to have the freedom to travel and really make a difference in people's lives. And today I'm really honored to share with you this project that I've been working on since about 5 years ago when I started going to Mexico. At the time I didn't speak a word of Spanish. And, I truly believe that God has a plan for everybody. And at the time, even though I was thinking that I was there to open market for my business, but little did I know God has a different plan. And really, as it worked out, a chinita canadiense and didn't speak a word of Spanish and become a chinita canadiense Latina. And now I have learned enough Spanish to get me by instead of just hola baño. And since then, I am actually the integral part of bringing this program into Mexico. And after, working with the company that we partner with for over 3 years and working with all the like the approval process and then getting the necessary certificates, permits. And finally, this is available in Mexico, feeding thousands of children every month since July last year. So it is really my honor and my pleasure to share with you a little bit of information how this program works. And really, we're running this campaign for the children of Mexico right now. And in this year, according to UNICEF, every 6 seconds, a child dies of starvation and malnutrition somewhere in the world. And that's 5 million kids every year. We hear about COVID, how many people die of COVID. You're looking at, maybe a few 100,000 or something in your country, or maybe US has the most death, right? I think it's 46 million or something, but nobody talks about in media how many children die of starvation and malnutrition every year. And COVID just happened 1 year, but this is every year. And because only 1/3 of the children's population in the world is well fed and well nourished, the other two-thirds are either starving or sufficiently deficient in nutritional needs. And so that really impacts their growth and when they're severely undernourished, and their development is hindered very, very negatively. And so a 12-year-old or an 18-year-old will look like a 12-year-old. And the age that they get from majority of the organizations around the world, for example, World Vision or UNICEF, or I dealt with Convoy of Hope or the Way of the Cross, that they've been working in Mexico, these church organizations. But the age that they give are mostly contains of grains, and the grains such as rice or oatmeal, that they don't have enough sufficient nutrients to sustain the child's normal growth. And so our organization have the answer for that, have the solution for that. Since 2002, we have donated over 700 million meals. So what kind of meals? This meal is called Vitameal. And as you see in this girl in her hand is a bag of Vitameal. And what it is developed by some of our children nutritional experts that are specialized in children nutrition, and that this vitamin meal contains 25 vitamins, nutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, fatty acids, everything necessary, essential to sustain and help a child to return to their normal growth and normal health again. And right now, our focus is in Mexico to raise as many bags as possible. Our first goal is to raise 5,000 bags, because that is what our organization is donating right now. Just for Mexico alone, is 5,000 bags of vitamin meal every month. And here's a picture of the children in Chimalhuacan, which is a small area just outside of Mexico City, where it's such a metropolitan center with the best steakhouse, and then there's sushi restaurants and the highway, all of that prosperity, but less than half an hour outside of that prosperity are these children really starving, and they're living in the garbage. This is a reality. 200,000 kids in this little area. And I've been there, I visited there, and this is the condition that they live in. They live in the garbage and off of the garbage. And that's how they make a living, their parents, and that's how their parents feed them. And for 24 pesos per day, that's it, 24 pesos, which is like $1 per day, we can save a child, because every bag of vitamin meal costs only about $30 per month, which is 716 pesos per month, and we can save a child's life. And so how it works is that our foundation, they manufacture, they pay for all the costs of producing this vitamin meal bag. And what we do is we buy a bag. Works exactly the same way as food bank. As you're going to a supermarket to buy a food bag, and then you drop it into a basket, and that supermarket will donate it on your behalf. Exactly as that, you buy a bag of vitamin meal and you click to donate, and the organization, our foundation, will donate it to the organizations in Mexico. The organization that we partner with is CMR, and CMR Foundation, they are the owners of the over 160 restaurant chains, such as Wings restaurant. Everybody in Mexico knows Wings, right? It's in every airport. Wings, Red Lobster, Chili's, Olive Garden, all of the major restaurant franchise they own in Mexico. And so they have a huge distribution channel that's already developed, so that they can take these donations, these bags, and they can distribute. And they're a very reputable foundation. And we've done 3 years of due diligence and auditing to make sure they are solid, and they are absolutely very well known in Mexico. And in fact, they've been feeding the children of Mexico for more than 12, 15 years, more than a decade. And right now, before our foundation started to donate to them, they were already feeding over 10,000 kids every day. So with the help of our foundation, they're able to feed more children. And not only they feed, they distribute, mostly that we work with schools and orphanages. And not only they feed and distribute these food to the children in schools and orphanages, but they monitor. That's a very important measure, because it's not just about feeding them the fish, but to ensure that they're getting the nutrients, they're getting the benefits, and they're actually having better health and better growth. So this is a very comprehensive program that we have in place, and we've been doing that since 2002. And these are the states in Mexico that currently CMR has presencia, they has presence in. So, for example, Guanajuato, Yucatan, Sinaloa, and Tabasco, and Veracruz, Puebla, Guanajuato as well. So Estado de Mexico as well. So, and we're looking forward to expand even to more states in Mexico. And for the donors, they get all array of benefits, such as they can receive a recibo, which is a donation receipt from CMR, which is recognized by the Mexican government to be able to, they can report it to reduce their taxes. So it's tax deductible, this receipt. So it is truly a win-win-win situation, where the children win by getting the best nutritious meals every day. And the company, the donors win because we are giving back. This is something that we want to do. And the donors win by able to reduce their taxes payable as well. So everybody win in this initiative. That's why we've won the best social responsibility program in America, because our foundation is based in the USA, and there are different ways that you can buy and donate. And this is the example of the receivables, a picture of the receivable that's issued by CMR that is recognized and admissible for the Mexico government for tax deductions. So right now we are already shipping 5,000 bags to Mexico. 5,000 is 5,000 kids. And so this is some of the kids that are eating our vitamin meal already. And so really the question is, how many kids you would like to save? For $1 a day, $5 a day will be 5 kids. And so these are, look at how happy they are. They're absolutely beautiful. And it just brings so much joy to me. And so really, I truly believe that when much is given, much is expected. And we have so much blessings in our life. We have so much abundance in our life. And really, and if you're looking for a platform to truly give, a platform that has the integrity that you're able to audit, because all these schools in Mexico, you can go and visit them. You can go to these schools and see how your donation is helping the children there. And so I don't know if I have any time. There is a really short video that because since last July, the bags are in Mexico. So we took a video of the children in Chimalhuacan, and I would like to share with you, but we can stop the video in the middle if I run out of time. But I truly would love to share that video with all of you and to see, you know, this is what we can do to really make a difference. Is that okay?
You have 3 minutes. Rose.
Okay, perfect. The video is, I think, 4 minutes. So let me. Okay, here we go.
By the way, in the meantime, if you guys want to write your information on the chat.
For sure. Oops.
Mi nombre es Ana Karen Ruiz Bello y soy mamá de 4 niños.
Mis hijos tienen 8 y 5 años.
Mi hija la mayor se llama Fátima Martínez.
SMER es una empresa mexicana con 55 años en el mercado que operamos restaurantes a lo largo y ancho del país. Desde hace poco más de 15 años, la empresa decidió crear la fundación como el brazo social en el cual pudiéramos impactar positivamente la vida de muchas personas a través del combate de la desnutrición en niños con necesidad socioeconómica importante. Hace poco más de 3 años, Nuskin quiso traer el programa de Vitamil a México y ahí fue donde empatamos nuestro objetivo con lo que buscaba Nuskin y empezamos a trabajar en conjunto.
Yo vivo en el municipio de Chimalhuacán, en el Estado de México.
Empezamos a trabajar en estas comunidades en Chimalhuacán, Estado de México, donde viven necesidad muy fuerte los niños, las familias completas. Viven de la colecta de basura, trabajan en los camiones recolectores de basura a lo largo de la ciudad, como también dentro de los propios basureros, separando la basura para vender desechos y tener un ingreso extra.
Para nosotros Vitamil fue importante en cuestiones de la economía. Nos ahorrábamos un poco de gasto diariamente. antes de que mis hijas empezaran a comer Vitamil, pues estaban un poco bajas de peso.
Con esta ayuda, mis niños han crecido más, han mejorado su salud y ya comen mejor.
El poder implementar con ellos un programa donde está bien balanceada nutricionalmente toda su comida, incluyendo Vitamil, es fundamental, ¿no? No solamente es el hecho de que puedan comer, sino de que puedan estar bien nutridos. Estamos atendiendo a 500 niños mensualmente. En un futuro queremos seguir creciendo el programa de la mano de Nuskin y Vitamil. Para nosotros es muy importante encontrar muchos aliados que nos ayuden a crecer este programa.
Antes del guisado estábamos acostumbrados a otra cosa y ya ahora con Vitamil yo les doy la comida, les doy primero su Vitamil y después le doy su comida.
A todas las personas que están donando Vitamils en el mundo, lo único que les puedo decir es muchas gracias. Es rescatar al niño de la máxima línea de desnutrición. Los invito a que sigamos creciendo esta cadena de favores, ¿no? Que sigamos pasando la voz para que más personas donen estas bolsas y saquemos a más niños de la desnutrición.
Gracias por donar Vitamil, gracias por su donación. Gracias por su donación.
All right. Well, thank you, Rose Hamill.
Thank you so much.
How amazing is that? What do you do for a living? Well, I travel the world saving children's lives. How about that?
Yes, absolutely. Very, very blessed. Thank you.
Well, thank you. The next speaker, Jimena Sotres Vitro, a consul for economic and political affairs at the Consulate General of Mexico in Phoenix. She is interested and she has done a lot of training in foreign affairs. So we would like to hear more about this wonderful lady and what she does. Jimena.
Thank you, and I would like to thank you for the opportunity, Arturo, also to Cesar, and of course to Indira. And I'm very happy to share this panel with powerful women here. And well, I will like to start telling you what we do in the Mexican consulate and why it's very important, the consular network of Mexico in the US. As you may know, Mexico shares a border of more than 3,000 kilometers with the United States. Also, daily 1 million people cross the border in both directions. Daily, more than $1 billion cross the border between Mexico and the US because of bilateral trade. And more than 35 million people of Mexican origin live in the US, and 12 million of them were born in Mexico. So as you may know, Mexico has the largest consular network than any country has in another country, and it is in the US. Mexico has 50 consulates in the US, and of course 1 embassy in Washington, D.C. And in Arizona, we have 5 consulates, the one that is in Phoenix, but also we have another 4 consulates in Yuma, in Tucson, in Douglas, and in Nogales. And well, the consular work consists in different tasks, but the main departments are the documentation department, that maybe is the one that you know the best, because in this department is where we issue the consular IDs, the birth certificates, the passports, and also we have a protection department. This department is also very relevant because is where we are trying to help Mexican population who maybe is facing legal challenges. So we have legal advisory for free, of course. Also, we help people like the dreamers, and also we have another department that is the one who has the community programs or community outreach to the Mexican community. And here we have very important tasks that are related to the to health, education, financial assistance. And also we have the political department and the department that is in charge of the economic and tourism promotion. So as you are realizing, we have inside of each consulate have different responsibilities, but all of them are very important because our main task is to protect the Mexicans who live in the US, in my case, and also to promote the positive image of Mexico here. So as you already said, Arturo, I'm in charge of the political department and also in charge of the economic and tourism promotion. So I would like to tell you about specifically these issues. We are working to strengthen our ties with local authorities, like the governor's office, mayors, local legislators, council members, business people, researchers, and academics from different cities and towns of the region, specifically here in Arizona, because we are convinced that the local authorities play a critical role in defining the way Mexican and Mexican Americans live their everyday lives. So for us, it's very important to establish a very direct communication and relationship with local authorities. The Mexican Ministry of Foreign Affairs also undertook the role of promoting trade and tourism. As you may know, 2 years ago, we used to have this office from Mexico, but now the Mexican Ministry is the one who is having the role of promoting trade and tourism. We are a source of information pertinent to the USMCA, for example, the business environment in Mexico, the economic relationship between Arizona and Mexico. And this relationship is very important and it's crucial for the well-being of both communities because Mexico is Arizona's main trading partner. Also, Mexico is Phoenix's main trading partner. So we have a lot of work regarding economic promotion. And well, specifically, I would like to talk this time about a particular project that we are implementing in the Department of Economic Promotion. That is a virtual entrepreneurship course for Mexican women. This program has the objective to empower Mexican women who live in Arizona and specifically in the metropolitan area of Phoenix. And this program is based on the Dream Builder program that was created by the Thunderbird School of Global Management. But it is also complemented with virtual sessions with top-level speakers. And also we complement this program with a mentorship program. And also we are all the time giving useful resources to the participants. Right now we have 16 participants that are part of this program. And all of them are of Mexican origin from different Mexican states like Sonora, Sinaloa, Veracruz, Mexico City. Well, for us, this is a priority because last year, for example, Arizona had a higher rate of Hispanic female-owned business than the national average. Here in Arizona, almost more than 100 businesses are owned by Latino, but from these 120,000 businesses, half of them, like 60,000, are owned by Hispanic women. So we have a lot of potential in the Hispanic and Mexican community for entrepreneurship and specifically with women. So that's the reason we started promoting this program. And as I already said, the main objective is to empower women, because we are convinced that women are the game changer in our communities, right? All the things that women learn and all the tools and information that we share with them every day, they at the same time share it with their families and with their communities. So we are trying to help women, specifically Mexican women, because it is our role here to help Mexicans. But well, we are having a great response regarding this program. I would like to share with you more information about this cohort that we are having right now. And well, I think that is all from my part, but I will be open to questions. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. What an amazing job she's doing with women entrepreneurs in the States, and especially Mexican and Hispanic women. I'm just amazed by all this work that you guys are doing. So congratulations. I'm going to the Q&A questions, and I have a Valeria Bozo Chavez. I think she was writing on after Rose's presentation. She says, this is a great project. Please share the link to our website of social media. So please, everybody, I'm going to encourage you to type your links or your information in the chat. And you guys can also see if you have any synergy amongst yourselves and maybe share information with each other. Perhaps Delphine, it's open to have your contacts as well. Jimena, Lupina, Rose, Rosana, and Rose Hamill. Do you guys have any questions right now about some project in specific about each other's?
I think what Jimena is doing with the Hispanic Latina women in Arizona is a great example of what's being done here in Houston as well. You know, there are several chambers here that are very focused with women entrepreneurs, but there is one specific that is the Cámara de Empresarios Latinos de Houston. Wouldn't you agree, Lupina?
Yes, definitely.
That is headed by Adriana Gonzalez. She's the president and CEO of the chamber here in Houston. And the Cámara de Empresarios Latinos de Houston is an incredible organization, and you know, has I can't remember the membership, but I would venture to say half of the membership is our Latina entrepreneurs. And I believe that the growth is just going to be exponential. You know, the pandemic, of course, has affected women, as you know, especially minority women. But I think that as we're able to overcome the pandemic over the next year or so, because it will take through 2022, 2023, those are the trends that I have been studying. I think we will come back, especially women entrepreneurs, even stronger as children go back to school and everyone gets inoculated, vaccinated. I, for one, am so fortunate to be vaccinated. But I think, you know, anything we can do to support women entrepreneurs, Lupina and I being prime examples, and all of you, I think is very, very important. So Jimena, thank you for everything that you're doing in Arizona. I think congratulations. I think it's extremely powerful that you in your position are doing what you're doing.
Okay, thank you, Rosanna. There is a question from Doug Brunke. Doug Brunke is the CEO from Global Chamber, and he is wondering, what is the trade situation at the border and the outlook for anybody?
I think that it's interesting what is happening in the border right now, because as you may know, since March, we had all the border crossings by land between the US-Mexico border were suspended if the main purpose was the tourism purpose, right? It was only habilitated for all the border crossings that were related to essential traveling, like work, mainly work, or also for health purposes. But it is interesting is that the commerce between Mexico and the US never stopped, because of course commerce and trade, border trade, it's an essential, was considered an essential activity for Mexico and for the US. So we saw a decrease between the bilateral trade between Mexico and the US, but I think it's logic, because all the economic impact that the pandemic had for not only for Mexico and the US, but worldwide. But it is also very interesting that as a result of these essential activities, these positions that were established by the US and by Mexico, border trade never was stopped. So really the decrease regarding trade between our two countries are very small decreases.
Okay. And regarding immigration law, how will U.S. immigration law changes expected to impact business this year? Does anybody know? We know we have some immigration changes in the law. What do you guys think how it's going to impact the businesses?
Immigration, I think, is a central issue. However, the congressional, it's a very tight congressional majority with regard to the Democrats, certainly in the Senate. Any overhaul is going to be interesting. I know Biden wants to have some major immigration overhaul. Whether or not that happens here in the and I'm speaking for the United States, it'll be interesting to see what happens. It's all up in the air, unfortunately, the immigration came to a standstill in the United States over the past 4 years. So, it'll be interesting to see.
Well, we have time for one last question. What is the situation with COVID in Mexico now? Perhaps Delphine or Lupina?
Well, I think that it's going slow. It's not, in some states, they don't have the infrastructure yet to continue with the vaccination, because they are starting with the rural areas, not in the big cities, and people are waiting. They're very anxious to have the vaccine, and we will wait and see what is going to happen.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's been wonderful having you here. Like I said, I encourage you, if you guys know some businesses that can have some synergy or match with each other's or the other speakers here, please share your contacts. Please have them contact anybody that's interested according to the presentations. I thank you for your presentations. I thank you for your time. If you guys want to, if anybody in the audience wants to donate to Mares de Mexico, Rose Hamill, Nourish the Children, please do. Okay, no, contact Rosana, contact Lupina, and Jimena. I think that you have a great responsibility, and I think you are in the middle of a good situation because of what you do. So thank you for that, and I would like to stay in contact with you for further events. definitely. And I would like to invite you to log into our next event from Guanajuato, which is uh, on Thursday 4th, which is about reactivating the economy here in Mexico. And you guys can share your information also through the chat in those events. Thank you very much. It's all for now. Arturo Samaripa, Executive Director, tells you hello and thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arturo. Thank you, everybody. Have an awesome day.